Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing good, everyone's chilling, going about their day nice and lovely. Today we are going to be partaking, let's go Bethany, let's go Delirium this time, because we have yet to do her Delirium route. Anyways, hope everyone's doing good, everyone's chilling. You know how it is, you know how it be sometimes, y'all, just kind of relaxing, existing, doing whatever it is we do. Today has been solid, you know, not really much going on, but I feel like not really much ever really goes on in my life, and that's not a bad thing, truth be told. I do enjoy my nice and lovely, just kind of uneventful evenings and whatnot, you know what I mean? Just get off work, go downstairs, eat a meal, come back upstairs, and do, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean? Fucking something, bro, you feel me? Oh, I almost ran into that, bro. That could have been a horrible. That could have been a throw, as they say, right? Is that what they say? Guys, I'm fine. But yeah, you know, I'm just kind of chilling, bro. For the most part, just getting to do a whole bunch of nothing, watch a whole bunch of nothing. Besides maybe some classic show that I haven't seen in a long time. I was watching a little bit of Afro Samurai yesterday with a couple of friends of mine, not gonna lie. I think it was one of the first, no, maybe not first, but it might have been what, I think I've spoken on this before, how I used to be like hugely into anime. Like I'm talking, I used to be crazy into anime when I first got introduced to it in like middle school or whatever. And then like a part of me had essentially steered very clear away from anime for a decent amount of time, because I had personally noticed all the anime I was consuming was more so like, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna hate me to say Gooner Slop or whatever, but that's low-key real. It was just ecchi type of shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, I remember vividly during like beginner year high school or whatever, not even, it was like end of 8th grade, looking at myself. I don't know how I was like this self-reflective, but I remember looking at myself and just being like, man, what have I become, bro? So I pretty much proceeded to never watch anime for like 3 years until I had decided to re-pick it back up, I guess you would call it. And one of the first anime that I like restarted watching again, I remember vividly, it was Initial D and Afro Samurai. Fuck off, dude. No way that hit. You feel me? Whatever, it is what it is. I mean, what can you expect if you're playing Tainted Bethany, you know what I mean? That's just kind of the nature of the character. Oh well. No spirit hearts to protect you at all, and you just kind of gotta tank it, low key. Well, yeah, you know what I mean, man. It's just what's the word I'm thinking of? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I haven't been saying anything to like warrant a you know what I mean. I did essentially just start rewatching anime, but you know, different anime. You feel me? I decided instead of watching all of this ecchi or whatever, I should like watch something that is got like a story to it, other than the sole purpose is to just make you know what I mean, bruh? Like, nah, it just wasn't for me kind of deal, you feel me? Anime like that, like, I just realized, like, man, what am I doing? This shit, like, I should be existing, living life, like, not being crazy otaku pilled. At least not being crazy otaku pilled like the way I was. And so I had decided like, nah, I'm good, you know? And so first run back pretty much, I just decided, let's watch some action or whatever. Decided to end up watching Afro Samurai. I thought it was solid. You know, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. And then I just proceeded to continue, I guess. I don't know, just keep watching it. It was only like 5 episodes. And I don't know why. I felt not the need or the urge, but I remember, okay, I was asking my friends, like, what anime should I watch next or whatever. My friend said Samurai Champloo. And I said, man, you know what you just reminded me of, bro? I ain't seen this in a hot minute, but it is Afro Samurai, bro. And so I threw that on because a friend of mine had never seen it, so we were watching a little bit yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall Samuel Jackson being the voice of Afro himself. I thought that was kind of crazy. I thought he just voiced the other guy, Ninja, I believe his name is. I don't think he's actually been given a name, at least not so far from what we've been watching. I don't think he has a name. But I think that is his character's actual name. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. It has been a minute since I've seen it, and like the fight scenes, the animation is pretty cool. The art style as a whole also just looks really good. Personally, I think it looks damn solid. You know what I mean, bro? It's got that nice stylized to it, and I'm gonna be so real with you, bro. It low-key, I was kinda not freaking out, but I was surprised, I guess, at how many people were like on Afro Samurai. You know what I mean? You kind of picking up what I'm putting down here? Like, Afro Samurai deadass had Samuel Jackson as the main character, and then it had Ron Perlman as like the main villain. And not only that, it also had like Yuri Lowenthal has different voices, John DiMaggio has different voices. You know what I mean, man? It had a lot of characters that upon like listening to it or watching it again and being like, man, hold up, I don't remember this kind of like low-key, like this crazy of a cast for this anime. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, hold up, they're kind of cooking. They also had RZA doing the music. So I was like, dude, what? I'm gonna be so real with you. I know this might be like the world's most fakest hip-hop fan on planet Earth or whatever, but I've never really listened to much of anything RZA besides like some Wu-Tang stuff, and even then, like I only kind of honestly know RZA mainly because of DJ Hero. And oh my god, what's the name of that movie? Man with the Iron Fist. And the only reason I know that movie is because there's a Kanye West song called White Dress that I don't know if it's in the movie, but it's on the soundtrack, and it is genuinely such a good song, man. God damn it. It's that kind of thing where you listen to it and you're like, oh, I really hope you weren't such a horrible human being, man. You know what I mean? I really wish you weren't such a horrible human being. Because what the fuck? Why is this song so good? You know what I mean, bro? It's kind of got me like that. That's how listening to White Dress got me feeling, bro. You know? It's just like, man, this is so good. And so that's kind of where I only really know RZA from. Oh, also DJ Hero. He is a playable DJ in DJ Hero. But not only that, since he's a playable DJ, like one of like the famous DJs, he also has his own mega mix. And RZA's mega mix, I can do that shit easy mode, bro. I'm talking mad easy. You see me pull up to do dollars and cents, man, I'm getting that shit done right quick, bro. Right quick. I hope y'all didn't hear that. I had to cough real quick. But I covered it up, like with my muting my mic. So I really hope y'all didn't hear that. I'm gonna get hit. Holy, not bad. World's greatest justice, it actually did something? Speed up. Mega cum laude. Why is it called that? I don't think it's actually called that. But that's pretty much the only knowledge I really have of RZA is from the fact that he, like, I think, I don't know, was he the director? But his name was on the movie. That's what I'm trying to say. His name was on the movie, The Man with the Iron Fist or whatever. I think he's also in the movie, but once again, I don't know much about it because I haven't seen it. I only really know the song and how good that song is. Like, I'm talking, god damn it, it's so good. And with that, I gotta say pretty much, like, it's crazy, I guess, seeing him also, like, hearing his music in the Afro Samurai anime, you know what I mean, man? It's like, I didn't know it got this, I don't want to say this mainstream, but this early as well. From what I remember, I think Afro Samurai is like, what, 2007, 2008, dude? That's like crazy before the popular surge in anime that wasn't just like kids anime, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't just Pokemon or Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, you know, like Bakugan or whatever, you know what I mean? That was straight up before, not before, you know, that was like before, like, I'm pretty sure that came out, what would it be? What's death question mark? Oh, I can't reuse it? That's a little cringe. I thought I could have. I don't know, doing that would like harness their essence and like I could never get it again, you know what I mean? But that's before like Sword Art Online and shit, you know what I mean, bro? Like, it's kind of, I'm sorry, little bro, yeah, you had to blow up. Like, it just genuinely, you know what I mean, bro? Like, you think about anime and you don't think 2007 is what I'm trying to say. So some people, maybe. Or I get Dragon Ball. Also, Dragon Ball was getting popular over here. But that was like pre, you know? But, I don't know, man. Maybe, honestly, I don't know. I always feel weird talking about anime and timelines regarding its popularity and whatnot and being brought over to the West. Because I feel like that conversation likes to pull a certain group of people that I do not agree with at all. And it is honestly disgusting the way some of the discussion around it goes down. If you're unaware on what the hell I'm talking about the people that are like, I'm saying this because that's what it is. That's how they describe it or whatever. But it's like, you know, the people, the anti-tourist kind of people, you know what I mean, with anime and whatnot, where they deem it a really big part of their personality or whatever, and they cannot have other people engaging in it and bringing new ideas to the table, sort of deal. I'd be saying, Tony, I feel like you're misinterpreting that a little bit of a bad faith argument, and I'll be real with you, it low-key kind of is. I'm gonna be completely honest. I low-key kind of am misinterpreting it in like this bad faith kind of argument way, but I feel like that's definitely how those kind of people speak about quote-unquote tourists, you know what I mean, going in their anime space. Now, I will say, that's not to completely be like, oh, anyone who's interested in anime like in the modern age is only interested in anime because it's cool or it's a tourist thing, you know? There are definitely people who I would give the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? And be like, they're probably interested because it has gained a little bit more popularity, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people would treat it as such, or, you know, say as such, because I don't know, you know what I mean, bro? Like I don't really know how to describe it, bro, but it's that kind of thing where it's like, man, y'all, like it's, I've never seen a fandom want to have people less in their little special interests or whatever. And some might say, oh, but there's good reason, I swear to you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, a lot of the arguments I see against like tourists or whatever, a lot of the time I think they're not good arguments. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. There is I will give y'all the benefit of the doubt in one instance, okay? Might be wondering, Tony, what is this one instance? It was something that happened recently with a group of content creators called the Anime Men, which I'm not the first to discuss this. I definitely will not be the last. But for the uninitiated, you know, for people who are uninformed, the Anime Men were essentially this group of content creators that not soul, you know, that seems a little rude to say, but one of the driving forces in their content was essentially like, hey, we are people, we like anime, we watch anime, we make skits and stuff about anime. We are your like average content creator for the anime kind of topic, you know what I mean? That is what I guess it came off as. It's like, we are anime content creators. You guys can watch us and support us if you're real anime fans, you know what I mean? But it kind of, I guess, turned out or whatever. Maybe not turned out, might not be the right term or whatever, because I don't think they were trying to hide some of this. But like, some of the people in their group weren't even like anime watchers or like viewers or anything, you know? It's like kind of weird red flag number one. You know, literally one of you guys' people don't even watch anime, or like just recently started watching anime, like post launch of channel kind of deal. You know what I mean? That's like a little odd, but okay. And then there was this one video that kind of got them in real deep shit hot water kind of deal. And it pretty much just kind of came down to, oh, we're gonna watch the first episode of like the most popular anime, or maybe I don't know if it was the most popular anime, but we're gonna watch the first episode of a whole bunch of anime and like rate the series or whatever from the first episode, which I feel like could be a solid content idea, you know what I mean? It's nothing too crazy or whatever. I feel like that's not too bad. The issue or whatever, the big thing comes from a lot of the time when they were watching said anime and giving their opinion at the end, some of them weren't even like actively watching, you know what I mean? They were like on their phone or falling asleep during the watching, or some of them in general just outright just didn't watch the shit, you know what I mean? They would be kind of like making remarks towards the anime while they were watching, which I don't think is ever a bad thing, truth be told. But when the whole idea of the video is like, guys, we're going to honestly rate these first episodes of each of these animes based off of, you know, we're gonna rate these series of each rate these series based off the first episode, then the kind of thought process would be you'd want to pay attention to the shit going down and what's up, you know what I mean? That's what you would think, right? You know, you feel me? But these guys just kind of like obviously didn't give a fuck essentially from the video that they released, and that's what got a lot of people upset, is that they weren't caring to put in the time or the effort to give a lot of these like their fair shake, you know, their day in court. And at the end they would just rate them and be like, oh yeah, you know, this shit was trash or whatever, this shit sucked. And it's like, wow, you guys, you know what I mean? It feels weird to say you guys suck at watching anime, but like low-key real. Y'all suck at watching anime. And so that got a whole bunch of anime like fans on TikTok and whatnot in a stir. And then there was some even more essential like crazy shit going on. You know what I mean, bro? I always feel weird talking about this type of shit, but you know, I'm no journalist. I'm no person out here providing y'all with up-to-date info. I guess I literally am in this instance, but you know what I mean? Like, that's not my main shtick. That's not my deal. But I will do that for y'all because it's like, you know what I mean? I would assume you guys would be curious about what the fuck going on here. So essentially, all right, this is where shit gets a little extra crazy. All right, so essentially, what ends up happening is a whole bunch of people are out here making like response videos to these anime men, calling them frauds and whatnot. You know what I mean? For the most part, everyone would be in the right to call them frauds. You feel me? It's like, yeah, that makes sense. These guys, they call themselves the anime men, but they're out here, one, making like bottom of the barrel anime content with the fact that they ain't even watching the shit. You know what I mean? They're not watching the shit that they're doing or whatever. So a lot of people got really upset at that. And if I remember correctly, essentially, another content creator, maybe this is only slightly relevant, I don't know, I forget. Once again, I feel like if you're here for like some crazy straight to the facts journalism or whatever, you know, there is a better outlet than me to explain this. But if you are watching me, I will try to explain it to the best of my abilities. I'm not gonna go out here spew lies just for the sake of spewing lies, you know? I will try and recall this to the best of my knowledge, the best of my ability. You feel me? So, essentially, some dude, similar name, but different guy, called the Anime Man or whatever, makes a video calling out these people, for one, calling them tourists and whatnot, which in this sort of sense, oh, by the way, if you are unaware of what the term tourist is, I completely forgot if I even explained it. A tourist is someone who engages with the medium, specifically of anime, I think in this instance here. They engage with the medium of anime not because they actually care for or are interested in the art that is provided in anime and whatnot, but because it is the cool, trendy, or topical thing to engage in. You know what I mean? They're not real, true fans of anime. They are more so enjoying it because it's what's cool and trendy to like. Whether it be because of popular individuals claiming their true love for anime or whatnot, you know, people claim their honest, real love for anime, and then other people wanting to engage with it, but not doing it out of real curiosity or interest, but mainly literally solely for the fact of this person said they were interested in it, so I'm interested in it too. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. That's essentially what it is. What it comes down to is just the liking or the viewing of the medium, but not from a place of real love or respect for the craft. More so, you are, what's the word I'm thinking of? You're doing it because it's fashionable or trendy. You know what I mean? You guys picking up what I'm putting down with this instance, or is it not making sense? Anyways, so for the most part, a lot of people don't like it when people are acting as, you know, quote unquote tourists or whatever. You feel me? I don't blame them in that sense. I don't blame someone for being a little bit upset or not a fan of someone else engaging with something that they find very enjoyable, and then, you know, not truly respecting it or showing it honestly, respect is definitely one of the biggest things. It's not showing it the respect that it deserves. You know what I mean? You don't really fuck with this, bro. You're only doing this because either A, you think it makes for a quirky personality trait to be like, I'm an anime enjoyer, or B, you just are following trends or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like that's not necessarily a horrible thing if at the end of the day, you know, you do end up liking it or enjoying it or respecting it. I feel like that's not horrible. Just the bad part is the lack of respect and the continuous lack of respect for me, you know? In that sense, I think it would be fine to call someone a tourist or whatever. But for the uninitiated also, a lot of people like to use the term to refer to just essentially anyone who has a different opinion from them on anime of a certain kind, you know what I mean? Or not just a certain kind, but just certain anime takes, low key. If you are against the norm of something and someone doesn't like that or whatever, you will most likely get called a tourist because of it. Which I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just stay here, all right? I don't think it takes a genius to be aware of, for some reason, this little thing in a whole bunch of anime and whatnot, but this sort of is, I don't like speaking on this, you know, it makes me uncomfortable to speak on it, but like it's gotta be addressed or whatever, you know what I mean? The elephant in the room looking at you saying address me. And that is the sexualization, and I definitely mean sexualization. People can try and be like, oh no bro, a lot of the time it really is just weirdly sexualizing minors in anime, you know what I mean? Or other shit like that. This is not just an anime, this is a thing everywhere for some reason, but the anti quote-unquote wokeness of different things, you know what I mean?
The world.
That is another thing, is if you try and not introduce, that's not the kind of term I'm trying to say here, but if you dare interact with this medium in a whole different, not a whole different fashion, but you know, just remotely different, and you either A, pick up on things, or B, you know, bring up this quote-unquote woke shit, then you're a tourist, you know? You're not a real fan of anime, because a real fan of anime would let all this bad shit slide. And it's definitely just some insane shit, you know what I mean, bro? It's like, what the fuck? Anyways, not to get, I already have a whole video of mine, a previous video of mine talking about how, like, you know what I mean, bro? I feel like any anti-woke person, I'm gonna be so dead ass with you, bro, like, you a bitch, plus, you know, bro, it feels cringy to say you're the snowflake, but like dead ass, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. A lot of the time, I've only ever seen anti, like, oh, this, you can't say that, or, you know, you can't do that, coming from people that are anti-woke or whatever, you know what I mean? People will quit a video game over having a woman in it. Like, bro, you know how much of a fucking loser you gotta be to do that? To drop something because of one thing? Like, brother, all I'm gonna say is that makes you bitch made. I don't care what you say. If you're not thugging that shit out, you a bitch. And genuinely snowflake ass mentality. Not that there's anything wrong with being a quote unquote snowflake, but I just find it really funny that those are the people that like to throw that word around a lot. They are the people that are low key bitchier than the people they're complaining about, which is very funny to me. It's very ironic, is what I'm trying to say. But I already had a video on that. If you fucking want to go you know, debate me on woke that Tony woke is actually horrible, fucking suck me. I'm not gonna argue that shit. Never mind. In light of recent events, maybe I shouldn't bring this up. Never mind, I'm just gonna say it. I just saw this really fucking funny video or whatever. You guys know how Charlie Kirk or whatever went to a college campus before that happened, you know, before his neck did that? And he had, what's the word I'm thinking of? His whole thing is that like he'd gone to the college campus as like part of the Turning Point like tour or whatever, where he would go around debating college students and whatnot. I had recently seen a post or whatever about some Turning Point shit happening in the UK, which I think the tweet's very funny because it's like, man, get this bullshit out of my fucking country, you know? Like, why are we doing this in the UK? Why do we got some random, it looked like just a random ass teenage boy just out here trying to do his own Turning Point UK shit, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, what are we doing? And it was a tweet that just said, man, get this shit out of my fucking country or whatever. And then the response was, this dude was sat here in front of this college campus until 2 p.m., which was like some hours, and not a single person walked up to debate him. Which I think is really funny, you know what I mean? To just kind of have someone, you know, you out there fishing for debates. You're like, no, debate me on this, you know, come on, debate me on this. And it's like, bro, I just won't engage with you. You know what I mean? That shit is just so fucking funny. Anyways, all right. Like I was saying, if you want to go ahead and argue with me regarding wokeness and snowflakeism or fucking whatever you want to call it, bro, just nah, bro. Shit's in the past. You know what I mean? Stop bringing up the past, little bro. Move on. You got your whole future ahead of you. You're only 12, you know? And so, what the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. Essentially, this dude, all right, the anime man, had made a video going over tourists in anime. You know, people joining the anime community, but they're actually tourists and whatnot. I don't think that in and of itself is such a horrible thing or whatever, right? To like address that, because it is something that is happening. You know what I mean? Is people out here kind of, it seems like a stupid thing to say because I got this quote from a fucking video on Instagram where this dude's talking about like liking armpits. So it's going to be a crazy quote to hear come from a video like that. But essentially it's like, you know, I feel like it is a sort of thing to the, you know, address the whole my culture is not your costume sort of deal. So like it makes sense, you know, it makes sense in my opinion for someone to want to be like, yeah, you know, this thing that I like, that I respect, that I enjoy greatly, that you are disrespecting, and you know, you're coming into this place because it's popular and out here disrespecting it. That's like, that's normal. I feel like that's perfectly normal. That's a good thing to want to call out. You feel me? That's the type of shit I'm trying to say. I think that's a perfectly fine thing to want to call out. You know what I mean? What I don't think is fine, however, is I don't know why he worded it like this, all right? And I will go over this. And apparently it caused like a big stir on TikTok and whatnot. And you can use that to gauge, you know, I guess how good or bad of a thing it is, as you will. But essentially, the anime man made a video addressing the whole tourism thing. And he essentially compared people being tourists for anime to, I don't know why he brought this shit up, but like the manifest destiny that happened in the early United States history in regards to people wanting to move the quote-unquote frontier westward and essentially just dehousing, I couldn't give you an exact number, but you know, Native Americans for the sake of, well, God said this land is granted to me, And so I will push westward, taking this land and these areas because God said so. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit that's like, you feel me? That's like you learn that in school or whatever, but it's like, why are we comparing people watching anime to that? You feel me? That's kind of the shit I'm talking about. Why are we comparing people watching anime to the destruction of an insane amount of Native Americans' lives in the pursuit of colonialism and whatnot from, you know, the people that had initially landed here in America or whatever? You feel me? It's like, bro, what are we doing? You feel me? I feel like we are, I guess, one, you could say it's making light of something horrible that happened. You know what I mean? We're out here making light of something horrible that happened for the sake of a really bad and dumb argument. You feel me? And it's just like why, bro? You know what I mean? That's just kind of, that's really, at the end of the day, that's kind of just the mentality I'm having. It's like, why though? You feel me? Why are we bringing this up? Why are we comparing this to that? You feel me? Bro forgot how to make analogies and just decided to run with like, you know, like the worst tragedy he could think of. Are we good? I thought, oh no, we're not good. We're not good. I thought we were good. I thought she was gonna stop stomping. Nice kill. Holy, not bad. But essentially, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, I guess, to just kind of, you know, compare people watching your shows that you enjoy to the westward expansion of Americans in the, what was it, like, fucking, honestly, I'm real chill, I'm a little rusty on my American history. So I'm gonna say early 1800s, late 1700s, you feel me? I know, cringe. American doesn't know his own fucking history. How on the nose. All I gotta say is, bro, fuck you. But yeah, it's just like, you know what? What are we doing, bro? That's truly, I guess, how the reaction kind of is. It's just like, bro, what are we doing? What type of argument are we having here? Where we're bringing in a manifest destiny as like an argument for people, you know, just you can't just say culture vulture or whatever, or like cultural appropriation or something like that. You know what I mean? We have to say manifest destiny. We have to bring up tragedies that happen to whole races of people. It's low-key kind of baffling to me, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. It's just low-key kind of baffling. And I'm not gonna say whether or not, you know, I fuck with it. No, I will say. I just don't fuck with them, you know? Like, what? Truly, it truly is just like a what are we talking about moment, you know? I genuinely could not put it into better words of my own other than seeing him say that and just the sole reaction just being, what are we talking about, bro? Why is this being brought up? You feel me? What's that shit Trump was saying or whatever? He's like, why are we bringing up this Epstein guy, huh? That's such a funny deflection, you know? God, dude, it's such like a, what's the word I'm thinking of, man? You know what I mean? It's that kind of deal where like I don't want to give him his props because he's a horrible human being. But it's like, bro, you say the funniest shit that like I can laugh at. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing, bro? What do you mean you positioned a huge part of your campaign on the Epstein list, and then afterwards you're like, why are we still talking about this Epstein guy, you know? Like, what's up with that? Like, bro, lil bro, you cannot tell me you don't see the hilarity in that. You feel me? It's just like, I don't know about, I low-key, yes, I will say this 100%. Sometimes it low-key do be a shameful thing to be an anime fan, because you got, it feels weird to say this, but you got a whole bunch of people out there like making me look bad. You feel me? Not me in specific, but just like people as a whole, bro. Like, why are we bringing up these arguments? Why is the main argument against people seeing that weird shit in anime, you know, like, once again, the sexualization of what's the word I'm thinking of? Young children in anime. Why is the main argument, but it's fictional though, you know? Shouldn't the fact that even if it is fictional, the fact that it's still being done, shouldn't that throw off some red flags, you know what I mean, bro? What's the saying? Life often imitates art or whatever? Art often imitates life. Why are we letting that slip, bro? You feel me? Why are we letting that shit slip through the cracks? Argument just don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The argument just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, what's the word I'm thinking of, man? It's fictional. Like, bro, shouldn't that still concern you? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Fucking, I don't know. A lot of anime fans suck, and that's what makes me not like talking about anime. Although I love it, you know, I fucking love anime, bro. That shit is goated as all hell. Gotta be genuinely one of my top 5 favorite things is anime, bro. I'm a fucking crazy huge JoJo's Bizarre Adventure head. Why, you know? But like, why is some of this shit there? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? Anime is it's a weirdly, I don't think it's a weirdly divisive topic. I don't think people are out there truly having the most heated arguments on planet Earth over anime. You know, I think that gets taken to like by like politics and whatnot. But I'd be lying if I didn't say there weren't some crazy arguments had during the in the anime space or whatever. You feel me? I feel like I'd definitely be lying if I didn't say that. I don't know, bro. Anime's weird, but I fuck with it. The fact that anime itself is a little weird is kind of why I fuck with it heavy. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I honestly, I'm just self-conscious because I was about to call this shit cringe. But I'm a little weird, you know what I mean? So I guess a lot of anime kind of suits me perfect. Except for the crazy weird shit. Like, you know what I'm talking about. I was just talking about that shit. You know what I mean? Literally anime got too crazy and I noticed myself being too fucking weird. So I had to stop watching it for a while. Now, granted, I have of course just learned sometimes anime is a little weird. You just gotta consume it in moderation or whatever, you know? But still, regardless, bro, you know what I mean? Regardless. Please stop like hiding after one tier, bro. Hits you. I got another magician question mark, bro. That's kind of insane. Crap, there's no like flake on the ground I can do this to, right? Like I need to, if I want to guarantee it, I have to find the zone. I need to do it in one of these, you feel me? There we go, I need to do it there. Tech Zero. My goat. That's really good. But yeah, you know what I mean, bro? I don't know. Anime is just a little weird sometimes. I'm aware it's a little weird sometimes. It kind of makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable sometimes because of how weird some of the shit in anime is. But I'm well aware of that. I can want it to change as much as I want it to, you know? I can want change for it as much as I want to. I can make my complaint about certain anime just being really weird. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be so real with you, bro. I deadass watched 2 full seasons of Mushoku Tensei because my friend had wanted us to watch it because he was talking about how the magic system in that show is really cool and whatnot. Did I watch 2 full seasons of it with him? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy watching 2 full seasons of it with him? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy the anime itself? Not in the slightest. That main character is just weird, bro. They for some reason there is like a crazy extended amount of focus put into the fact that he is out here lusting after 12-year-old girls, and you could be like, well, yeah, but he was reborn as a baby, so he's technically 12. Nah, bro, it's something about the fact that he was like a whole ass 40-year-old weirdo. And he's going after these like 12-year-old girls. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing, bro? Once again, what are we doing? It just kind of got me like that. And I will hate on Mushoku Tensei till the day I die, bro. Alright? That main character is such a fucking loser. And I will keep spewing that until the day I die, honestly. I would genuinely keep spewing my hatred for Mushoku Tensei till the day I die. Will there be someone out there who disagrees with me? 100%. Alright? And I'm aware of that. But they're gonna be like, yeah, but I just had to look past that and stare into the real soul of the anime. And I'll be real with you, if you can manage to do that, then good on you, I guess. If you can look past the fact that the main character is just such a horrible person, then you know what, bro? Good on you for being able to do that. I respect you. Me personally, I hate his ass. I hope he dies. And that's why I don't, you know, that's why I didn't catch myself watching any more of that show. Because at that point, bro, I low-key just had enough. I'm like, man, this MC is trash. I don't want to watch this anymore. Tony, but it's fictional. Nah, bro. We're not doing this argument again. We're not doing this argument again. But yeah, you know, anime, also anime. How I find myself a fan of you in so many aspects, yet regretting you in many more. You know what I mean, man? What's that thing they say? You can only hate the things you love or whatever? That's me. That's me with anime, and that's me with Destiny. Tony needlessly bringing up Destiny for the 8th time today. I know. How crazy, how crazy. Is that real magician? Oh, I gotta take that, bro. As much as I like magician question mark, real magician having homing is genuinely such a good, such a goated thing for this run. He killed himself, bro. Little bro, he died. I don't know, bro. Anime is it's so weird. You feel me? Anime is such an odd thing. Such a weird love-hate relationship with it. You feel me? Maybe you don't feel me. In that case, that's okay. That's fine. You know, and that's perfectly understandable. That's perfectly reasonable, bro. To each truly their own. You know what I mean? To each truly their own. But to me, I don't know. Always just feels a little weird. And you know, it's not like I'm ashamed of it either. You know what I mean? I guess I literally just spent the better half of the video talking about how I'm a little ashamed of it. But like, I do enjoy showing my interest to those interested. You feel me? Like, if I know for a fact you and me would have this special interest together, then I will 100% be like, bro, look at this shit. You know what I mean? I mean, I got, granted this is different, it's video games, but I got a whole shelf full of video game shit. You know what I mean, bro? And I'm currently building up a library of manga that I thoroughly enjoy. You know, I got Tomie, I got Uzumaki, I have Volume 1 of JoJo Part 7, I have Volumes 1 through 6 of Initial D. And in freaking middle school, I remember middle school and I think late elementary school, my ass was going to the library, the local library. I'm not talking local library like, what's it called? Like a public library. I was going to like my school library. They actually had
Dice shard.
but they actually had like anime there, right? Like real, not anime, manga there. Like, I remember reading Naruto in late elementary, early middle school, you know? I remember reading the Naruto mangas and I got kind of, not far, I guess, but I got solid in there on the Naruto manga. I remember reading up into, slight spoilers or whatever, Rock Lee fighting Gaara. That like the Shinobi exam or whatever. I got past that, or Chunin exam, I forget, man. It's been forever since I've seen it, since I've read it. I'm gonna be so real with you, bro. You know what's really funny is that unlike most people, I think I actually read Naruto first before watching it, and I didn't even watch it that much. I only watched the anime of Naruto sparingly, but for the most part, I had actually read almost all like the happenings and whatnot. You know what I mean? So I actually don't have that like anime, like watching anime as a youngin, you know, reaching that part of the show or whatever, like seeing this happen. For the most part, I was actually reading what was going on in the manga, and then only later did I find out, like, oh, I didn't know I had a show, you know? Because I remember, what was it, bro? I think they had the show and they would air it late at night on Adult Swim. And I remember sometimes I would get home, me and my parents would get home from like a family trip or whatever pretty late at night, and I would see that. Where's the magician? Oh, I'm so stupid, I forgot. The magician is the regular, not the upside down one, so it wouldn't be marked. But I remember getting home late at night, turning on the TV, and then seeing Naruto Shippuden on, and then just like kind of having it on as background because nothing else really was on that I wanted to switch to. But I wasn't even watching the Shippuden. I'm gonna be so real with you, you know? It was literally just there for noise, but I didn't watch it myself. But I mean, shit, I love reading manga, man. You know what I mean? Honestly, low-key first episodes. One of the first episodes of this series. I remember bringing up and like, you know, prosing the question. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Bro, bro's fitting so excellently, you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all if you guys understand what the hell I'm talking about. when I say excellently. But what's it called, man? Oh, look at the yard. But for the, what's it called? I'm gonna be so real with you, bro. For the most part, a lot of my... One of the first episodes, I had posed the question, you know, like, is reading manga, like, the same as, like, reading a book, like, dead ass, you know what I mean? And, one of my friends had commented, and he was like, I genuinely think so. You know? Three hangmans? Are we dead ass? But yeah, honestly, dude, for the most part, you know, it was kind of like, yeah, it pretty much is reading. It's just like, you know, in a different form or whatever. But I mean, you're still reading like words, you feel me? It just might not, I guess, it feels weird to say, it might not engage the brain the way regular reading would, but it still is reading, you know? Literally. Man, I just love manga, bro. The only thing that sucks is I just don't have like a shelf or anything to put my manga on. I'm gonna be real with you. Most of my manga is just like kind of scattered a little bit around the. It's just like slightly scattered around my room or my office, you know. Bro's manga is just scattered around the house. You feel me? That's essentially what I'm trying to say here. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. I was gonna die anyways. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Wow. Tony talking about anime is so weird, ain't it, guys? Anyways, that about wraps it up for me. I want to thank y'all for watching. If you guys did enjoy, I greatly appreciate it. I hope y'all have a good day and or good night, depending on the time reviewing this. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.